We needed to save the lives of the hostages, which is our mission: save the lives of the hostages.
Yeah.
And our hostages were our boys.
Exactly.
And we were going in.
You've got to not let your emotions stand in the way of that.
No,
because there's a job to be done. But
unfortunately,
yeah,
we all looked at each other, and that decision was made by him. And we went through that wall. 2 tanks leading, went straight through the wall.
battered the wall down with some tanks.
Battered the wall down. You know, the British government had just paid for certain aspects and training and, you know, implementation forces and all this sort of stuff. And we went straight through the bloody wall. You know, blow the bloody doors off, straight through the wall, and then raided this location. And
what were the geezers like when you got to them? Were they like?
Well, they weren't there. So as we were going through the side and the back and all that, they'd managed to smuggle the guys out, and luckily there was a man in a young Royal Marine, I believe, in a helicopter overflying the situation, and he'd seen some struggling, and he basically, you know, probably his best call ever, and he probably something he'd wanted to do all his life or would never get the chance, and he just said to the helicopter, you know, follow that fucking car, and they followed this car, and that was another location, a potential location, and when we got you know, a dry hole, when we found out our guys weren't there was a lot of other people in this location, and they were not in a good way. You know, they'd been tortured, they'd been, you know, they were in a sorry state of affairs, and you know, but our mission is to save the lives of the hostages.
Still to go back and
not
get these.
them. They're our boys. So, you know, it comes straight across the radio. We got a bounce on, and off we went. You know, straight through the bloody cordon again. Get out the way.
Directed by this Royal Marine that had,
young Marine, you know, who I hope he got a medal for it.
What a fucking alley bloke.
He saved the lives of the hostages, not the squadron.
Yeah.
And, you know, we went there and we assaulted the second building. I was one of the lead assaulters on that. And, yeah, you know, and there was shots fired. But the main thing was that we found the 2 guys, and they were rigged up, ready to go. And they were going to be, you know, it was that time, you know, back in the 2000s, where it was pretty, you know, pretty normal. Not how can you call this normal?
It became normal, didn't it?
It became normal when you see another hostage in an orange boiler suit getting his head cut.
No, you're right.
It wasn't the ISIS and the Beatles that started.
Wasn't even shocking anymore, was it?
Zagari and all them lunatics, and then those boys were just about to go through that, and luckily, you know, we blew the bloody doors off the hinges, and we went in, and the guy that found them, and he sort of lifted the balaclava up off of one of the guys, and you know, expecting like elation and thanks, and all he got was, "What the fuck took you?"